Mute Girl inspired millions. My name is Sharon Love. I am president of InspireAndProsper.com, also SpeakInspire.com. And when I was in grade 10, I had been bullied so much. I'll just say the big neighborhood bully was very close to me and chose me as his favorite target. So by the time I was 15, I really believed all of the things that he said. And he said some pretty brutal things when I was a kid, and he backed it up with his fists. So he was very abusive. And by the time I was 15, I really believed that nothing I could ever say would ever be good enough for anyone to hear. And I got put in the group with a popular girl to give a presentation in English class. And the popular girl goes, Sharon, I'm supposed to give a presentation with Sharon. That kid can't even talk. And the whole class turned and stared at me like they had just noticed me for the first time, because I was that shy and that quiet that I kind of like had an invisibility cloak almost. And they're like, who's this kid? And I could feel everybody was staring at me, and I could feel my face getting hot. And I stuttered and I stammered, and I couldn't think of anything to say, because as usual, I thought nothing I had to say would ever be good enough. And I really believed the bully at this point that I wasn't good enough. So that was the moment where I decided I needed to learn how to overcome my painful near mute shyness. I needed to learn how to talk to people. I loved people, and I just needed to break out of my shell. So how was I going to break out of my shell? Well, I started going on exchanges, and all of a sudden, instead of being the weird kid who couldn't even talk, I became that interesting kid who comes from some other province, and I went to Quebec. C'est comme ça j'ai appris le français. Je parle français québécois canadien. Then I went to, so I learned French when I was in Quebec, and then I went to Costa Rica, por eso que hablo español. And I also went to Germany, und ich habe auch Deutsch gelernt. Ich musste es üben. So I learned, thanks to the bully, I learned Spanish, French, English, and German. I also did a master's in psychology at University of Toronto, and I started researching for years, what are the secrets of the world's greatest speakers, and what are the secrets of the world's greatest leaders? And how can I use this to overcome my shyness and start to learn to talk to people? Well, I started to recognize patterns. I was looking at everybody from Oprah to Obama to Gandhi to Ellen to Etheridge, like what made these people so successful? And I started noticing patterns. And when I started using these patterns in my own life, magic happened, like wild and crazy magic. So one day I decided I was going to do something to save lives of bullied LGBT youth. I've been through a trauma in my family and lost my cousin to homophobia. And so I created a Facebook group called I Bet We Can Find a Million People Who Support Same-Sex Marriage. And it was like, click refresh. 10,000 more people. Oh my God, click refresh, 10,000 more people again. Oh my God, what is going on? We got 2 million people in just over 2 weeks. And people said, I want to sign a petition. I went, oh, okay, petition, yeah. Threw together a petition, and we got 60,000 petition signatures. I sent that off to the White House, and I sent that off to the UN. And within 5 years, we had won marriage equality across North America. So I was going, oh my God, this really, really works. These secrets are like magic. And then I used them also with speaking. I started becoming an ESL teacher, so I taught English as a second language for a number of years. And then I started realizing I really love working with entrepreneurs. So I started teaching entrepreneurship, and my clients started taking off. I'd be walking down the street and going, oh my God, there's my client on the front cover of a major newspaper. Whoa, cool. I'd walk into a store, a health food store, and go, whoa, there's my client's product right there, sitting there. It's their best selling health food bar and things like that. So I thought, okay, yeah, there's government funding. Okay, if I can get this money, how do I get this money? And so I met with the funder, and her name was Fran Story. She was head of HRSDC at the time, for government funding for youth self-employment programs. And she said, by the end of the meeting, she said, you are the one to run this program. You are so passionate. You are inspiring. And I went, yes, I don't have a space. I don't have a space. Where am I going to do this? Okay. Oh, and then I looked in the newspaper, because this was a while ago, right? Back when people read newspapers, I looked in the newspaper and I saw that, oh, they were looking for somebody to teach self-employment in this youth self-employment program. I was perfect, but it was, I think, 9 hours a week or something. She said, tell you what, we've been trying to get government funding for years for this, and not a cent. I walked in, there's a huge self-employment center, like a tomb. There's nobody there, not a single person. And it was just, yeah, it was like sterile, like just a tomb. So then she said, oh, by the way, a few weeks later, I started working with some youth. I got things happening. It was exciting. And then she said, oh, by the way, I'm meeting with Fran. My boss said, I'm going to meet with Fran on Thursday. And I said, oh my God, Thursday morning? Wait a minute, I'm not in on Thursday morning. Nothing's happening. It's going to be a tomb. It's going to be the same thing. So then I said, okay, what should I do? What should I do? Showcase. I called up all of my clients. I said, look, we're going to do a showcase. We're going to do a showcase together. Bring in what you're working on. Bring in your catering. Bring in your multimedia. Bring in your sculpture. Bring in whatever you're working on. Bring in your art. I was calling them all up. She walks in. Instead of walking into a tomb, the funder walked in and she saw a kaleidoscope of passion and energy and people buzzing and networking and confidence and fun and showcasing their art, and it smelled delicious because of catering. And she took one look at me, and I'll never forget when she did this. And her head nodded. And outside, I was like, I just did this. I was like all calm and cool and collected. Inside, I was going, yes, we got the money. I know we got the funding. Now we can do this. We can do this program for these youth. This is going to help them so much. They got $400,000 that year, and every year since. It's been over 16 or 17 years now. And it's added up to over $7 million. So if a mute girl can inspire millions of people with the secrets that you are about to learn and some of the other secrets that I can share, what can you do with these secrets?
I got paid to give classes to 56,000 people.
After just how many months of working with SpeakInspire.com?
After only 3 months working with you.
Wow. And you were only working one-on-one before that?
Yes, before that I was only working on mentoring. So one by one people, one by one.